Hi and welcome back. My name's KT and this is Simple Living with KT, the place where we talk about the issues facing our lives in a simple and mindful way. In today's video, I'm going to share with you four ways that I gave up on lifestyle inflation to live a simple and frugal life. No matter what, we're going to need a place to live. But the question becomes, how much space do you need to live, and is the cost worth it? My husband and I have been married for about 2 years, and during that time, we have moved 3 times. And it was all during the pandemic. Because of that, not only did we have a harder time finding a place and scheduling the appointments, the rental market was closely following the housing market with constantly increasing rental rates. What that looked like for us was originally living in Jacksonville, and our rent, in my opinion, was reasonable at $1,100 a month. Then we moved to Orlando, and we could not find a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. We started looking at 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments, and they were actually less than the 1-bedroom apartments. We loved the space that we got in the 2-bedroom apartment, and it makes sense for us because I work at home. At the time, my husband occasionally worked at home, and we became accustomed to having this space. And because of that, it became a requirement in our minds, even if it made our budget tight, which is what happened when we once again moved to New Mexico. The rent once again jumped up within a couple of months by the time we moved to New Mexico, and even from the weekend that we were looking at apartments the first time to the time we were remotely signing the lease, the apartment rates were increasing every single week. And specifically, by the time we were signing the papers for the rent, it was over $2,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. While we knew we wanted to have 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms for our living space, honestly, it did not need to be a requirement, especially at that time. He was going into the office, I was still working at home, and with understanding your space and creating different zones, let's say a working zone and a space for relaxation, you do not necessarily need 2 bedrooms for 2 people. However, that was really stuck in my mind at the time, and also what was stuck in our minds was just being in a convenient location. And while I love the location we chose for that apartment because it was convenient and we liked the vibe of the apartment in that particular area of the city, we specifically turned down a different apartment in a more rural location that would have been about $200 less. But what I find ironic about that is now that we're living in our own house, we specifically were looking for something outside of the city, not only for the cost, but also for the slower lifestyle and ease of life out there, in addition to having some land. While I reflect on buying a pricey apartment, I feel the need to mention this was not completely irresponsible, as we could still save up for a down payment for our house and for breaking the lease to free us from the expensive apartment. But if you're in a similar position where you have to move and you're wondering if your rent is too high, write out that budget as soon as possible to figure out how much expendable income you will have at the end of the month. If you won't be able to save money, it would probably help you in the long run to look for a more affordable option and start brainstorming how you can make more money. I don't know when it happens, but when you start making more money, those restaurants you pass on the street seem so much more inviting. I should go back through my transactions and see just how much I've spent on eating out, but I know in the worst months, I have spent well over $1,000 on fast food alone. And usually when that happens, the groceries I buy go to waste, which is just a shame. I know some of you may not be able to relate to spending $1,000 a month on fast food, but trust me, it is possible. And at the time that I'm writing the script for this video, I'm in the middle of a 14-day eat at home challenge to help combat eating out. The convenience that we get from fast food is appealing, but if it gets in the way of your goals, then we need to find another way. You can join my Live Frugal, Feel Rich group on Facebook to have accountability on your own 14-day Eat at Home challenge. Or feel free to share your experience along the way to financial freedom. I also share quick meal ideas because convenience is not easy to give up. But what works for me is finding convenient, delicious, and nutritious meals that, of course, taste really good as leftovers. Then it makes the little bit of extra time and effort, even more reasonable for me. When I started dating my husband, he had cable. Why did he have cable? Because his parents wanted to watch cable when they visited his house on the weekend. I think he paid somewhere around $80, and just having high-speed internet was extra on top of that. If you use your cable service, I am happy for you, but for him at the time, it was truly unnecessary. I've done similar things with phone data by always getting the largest amount of data or sticking with one of the large phone services because I thought there was something wrong with prepaid plans. Now I use Mint Mobile and signed up for a plan that reflects the amount of data that I actually use each month. I've had them for about 3 years now and even have an affiliate link in the description below. I used to think a main sign that I have made it in life is to buy new items. I thankfully never got to the place of buying a brand new car because I snapped out of it before I reached that point. But for me, that goes for furniture, some clothing, phones, technology in general, and more. Recently, I got a dining room table and 6 chairs for $45 from a local auction. I will say we hit a snag getting the table inside our house, and we wouldn't have that issue if we had free delivery buying it new from some big box store. However, I do believe the cost and the extra effort is worth it, especially for such a high quality table. To get the table inside, my husband actually bought a drill to remove the table legs. Yes, the drill cost money, but now we have a drill and that will be useful for the other DIY home repairs we're planning. I'm going to paint or stain the table set. That will also add some cost to the table, but it will be nowhere near what a solid oak table set would cost brand new, and the personalizations for me will make it even more special in my opinion. That's what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much for watching. You should check out the Live Frugal, Feel Rich group on Facebook. You'll actually get free access to my course, Abundance in a Budget, just for joining. An Abundance in a Budget will help you with your money goals, whether that be saving up for a house, paying off debt, or getting your mindset fueled up to reach those goals. It will be a game changer. Thanks again for watching, and as always, remember to make the decisions that support the life you want. Bye for now.